Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Need to just back over that a little bit there, and that one's out of the way as well. Ideal. Right. Another job successfully carried out, and the solar panels, see, they've all lined up the same now as well. I like that. So we will leave these trees at this end. Just getting rid of those two, I think, is enough. I don't think we need to worry about any more of it. I'm going to slow you down to 1x speed now. Bring you in here, and we'll lower that one down, unhitch, like that. And then we'll bring you round over here. So these two here are actually quite useful. Right, there's a lot of trees that we have still got at various different places on the map that we will want to get rid of with these two machines. So it's very handy having them there and ready and available to do everything that we want to do with them. It's probably the fastest way that we can actually get rid of trees as well, which is another good thing. I do want to get rid of trees as quickly as we can. We've already done corn, we've already tested that, we've turned the ploughing requirement off, and because we've already gone and tested it, we know that even after doing potatoes, we're still not going to have to plough anything, so we don't have to worry about going and buying a plough, which is a really good thing. We go to there and get another 14 hours of sleep, like that, which is going to take us through until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And there we have 150,000 euros, just like that. Great demand at Edge. Black Baler's barn doesn't want to do us any good at all, because that's only for straw and stuff. But I've now got 167,000 euros there. So before I go and do anything else, I am going to make a final purchase for the last of the 5 solar panels. And then next week, when I come back to do some more recording, if you have all said, yes, go for 10 solar panels, then I'll start worrying about getting some more. But right now, I'm sticking with 5. And then if you said get more, then, you know, I will fill in here and I'll get another 5. So we'll have 10 of them in here, which means we'll get 8,275, because there's 75 with the beehives over here. But we'll end up with 8,200 euros coming in every hour. At the moment, we've got exactly half that. So we are collecting right now. Let's pick you up there. Right now, we are collecting 4,175 euros every hour from our solar panels and our beehives up there. I do wonder if I should get some more beehives. I was going to say, we do have 3 lots of beehives. I don't think I will, though. It's nice to have the beehives, but I don't think we need any more than that. Let's go in here, and I want to change that to the AI vehicle extension like that for this one, and off we go. So there was an update to this one. We thought that would stop the issue with it overrunning, but apparently it doesn't. So I'm not going to be using the AI extension very much for the combines while I've got them on this really fast speed that we run them on. But just for that little bit there, I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. Don't go and get yourself hung up. That's just daft. I'm going to actually just nurse this one round here, because it looks like he's going to try and cause himself some trouble. So if I just... Now what are you doing? Oh, I know what he's doing. Yeah, I had that bit. Right, I'm going to switch you over, and you need to be going round in circles. That's what I want you to do. That's why he wasn't doing it right. You head on down there. Hopefully, he will do the rest of that just fine. I'm gonna watch him in his top corner. There's a little bit there that he didn't quite get. That's not going to hurt anything. So I don't know how much longer we will have this little corner. I am going to do this bit out with potatoes. I think it's going to be an interesting challenge just to see what it's like doing potatoes on this little bit right here. And it's certainly going to be an interesting challenge trying to harvest potatoes on this little bit right here. You really don't like that, do you? You're trying to push out further from the edge of the field, and you don't like doing that at all. So let me just drop you in there so that you can carry on again. Second time round the field, he should be okay. It's just his first time that he's going to struggle a little bit, just in this corner with the AI extension. The standard AI wouldn't be able to do it at all. It would just leave massive, great big chunks of the field. So I think overall, we're not doing too bad. And then he comes up here, and he does usually try to sideswipe the barn right there, because he's trying to line up. Although with this small header, he's avoided doing that altogether. That's good. Right, we'll leave you go there, and we'll go and get the other combine in here. This one is set with the header all ready to roll. I'm going to take this one straight up to the top field, and I will start working on that field up there. And then they'll both come together on these fields down here. So that one there will start work on that field, and then this one here, when he's finished up the top, he can start work on that field over there. Looking at prices right now, I've got 1,414 at Central Grain Elevator, which is just a tiny fraction above the minimum of 10% below the top price that we've seen. The top price we've seen is 1,546, so 10% below that would be just under $1,400 per 1,000 litres. So we are able to sell straight off the field with the corn, which is quite fortunate, because it means that we get that extra little bit of money to go in the kitty towards paying for the leasing costs of the potato planters. We don't have the money right now to go and buy the potato planters. That's fine. I wasn't really expecting to be honest. That wasn't something that I was expecting at all. I'm not going to put the AI extension on this one at all, not even a little bit. I'm just going to use the standard hired help, and I'm going to do only a single pass up here. There's enough room. I don't need to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about driving onto... We shouldn't drive onto the other crop anyway. It shouldn't be any kind of a problem. So if I just bring you up there like that, and then go along here, I want to do just a pass or two along that top end with the AI extension. This is going to make it a little bit quicker and easier for it to turn. It's only because I think it's going to be a bit easier for it to turn the corner, that's all. When it's like going backwards and forwards with where the trees are, I think it's just a little bit faster if you've done a few passes with the AI, with the combine on the top end there. There's slightly more room for it to do its turning round. Now I want to go... Wow, you are 77%. There's a reasonable yield coming up on there, to be honest. There is a reasonable yield. We could struggle a little bit to keep up with the combine. Or these combines. And get other stuff going at the same time. I mean... It won't be a huge problem, but it could potentially be a bit of an issue. It looks like the other one... There he is. I thought he had. He's reached the other end up here, so we'll do... And it was right here. You see, he was starting to back up quite a bit, although I think that's just what it does as standard, isn't it? So don't worry about that bit. Let's go there. And I'm going to let this do a couple of passes along this end. It may struggle a bit to turn round over there, but... I'm going to risk that. You here, I want this. And then I want to get up alongside that combine and start emptying you out. 94. I think that combine is not going to... What is that combine going to do? He's going to try and turn round here. We'll just catch that a bit and take all the grain off of it. And then the other combine up there, he's turned round. I think he's actually currently turning round right now. So I'm going to, once I've taken this off, I'm then going to drive straight up to the field at the top. This one needs to keep going round and around the edge for a little bit yet. It's not got enough room to be able to turn properly right in front of those beehives. So it needs to just do going around the edges. So I'm kind of wondering if I should just change this a little bit. You know what? Let me go to the combine. You've done 2 passes here. Go to this combine. Yeah, You're doing all right. I'm just kind of thinking if I do manually, like a couple of passes just on the end of the field down over there, it's probably then going to be all right to like carry on and do the rest of the field without any real problems. I'll let you go into there like that, and then I'll go and drive up through here. Now I'll do should be just enough room here to like do a couple of passes along this end. So I'll go like that, and I'll turn that off there and put that going here. I want to go and have a look at this one. You've reached this end of the field, which is what I wanted you to do. Go there. Let's get that one going. I'm 78% full on this one right now, which means that this one's not got very much more left to do. And I'll just set that running down there. That should be absolutely fine. And it's this one. Yeah, see, he does sort of turn right into the crop and make a little bit of a mess of that. But overall, he's not too bad. And he comes back. He does back up far enough to be able to take out the whole thing. So I only wanted to do 2 passes like that. It's enough room there now that we'll be able to finish off this field on and start from this side as well. Right, I get to there. Now hired help is going to go back over to here. Help A as a full grain tank up there. I'll put you right out like that as far as it'll go, and I'll run you down here. There, like that. So then I can go over to this tractor. Before I go running up to the other one, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to take off a little bit more off this combine. It's not a lot on the combine. He's only about 20% full, but I figure if I go and take that from him first, the rest of the grain that he has, we can probably do something with. I don't have any corn in storage. Just wondering if... No. I was kind of thinking maybe this one here, I could end up, like, just dumping the rest of the grain in. You know, I could still do that and then just come and collect it with this tractor and trailer in a bit. That might be a better way to go and do it. It's not a lot of distance for me to just run over to the grain storage bin right there with this combine. Unload there, like that, and now off we go. So, if I was to put root crop storage here, what we would do is we'd turn this bit in behind here into a track. And it would just be the gravel track, the same as we got the rest. Because there's enough room out the side here that we can put that. And enough room so that lorries, when they're going in and out of there, would be able to sort of swing in through there properly. At least, I think there is. Right? That's the theory on this, is I reckon that we could probably squeeze that in there without too much trouble. Go on up to the top. I'm also curious at the moment. I'm looking at that number. Like, we got 17,000 euros at the moment. I know that we get 4 grand every hour coming in from our solar panels. But are we going to have enough money to stay in the black until potatoes are fully planted? Because the potato planters, they use an awful lot of seed, and I'll be getting the big potato planter if I can, so long as our tractor can actually pull it. I want the big potato planter so that I can... Ooh, we've missed a bit. He's missed a tiny little strip. We'll worry about that later. I won't worry about it now. Let me go back in underneath the combine right here. And it's standard hired help, so he's not going to go anywhere. He's just going to sit there and let it unload unless I physically move out of the way, which I'm not going to do for a minute. Right, now I will. Now I will move out of the way. He's going to put a bit into the back trailer, but not very much. And now I will drive up here. And I'll wait up here until that combine comes back up. And that should be nearly full on the tank when he gets back up here. And then we will follow him down across the field and get some more out of him. And we'll be able to go and sell... No, it doesn't matter. If with 17,000, right, it really doesn't matter that we've only got 17,000 at the moment. I mean, I'm hoping it's not going to cost us 17,000 to do the planting, but we have to lease the potato equipment. We've got no choice. We can't go and buy it. So we got leasing costs as well, but as we're selling all the corn straight off the field, and we're selling it straight to the central grain elevator there, we'll be alright for the money for that. That's not going to be any kind of problem at all for us. We're going to be absolutely fine for that. Now, where's potato? Potato technology right here. So we've got a selection. We've got the Stevie one right here. That's the Roper header, which isn't the one that I want to do. I got the... these are sugar beet headers, right? These here are sugar beet headers. I know he's turned them into the potato ones, but they are for sugar beet, and I don't want to use those. But there is one, I think, that someone said was actually a Stevie one. No, we got all of those. These are these, however, are not. It's not the Platinum TerraTrack, is it? That's the Platinum TerraTrack, but I don't know if that's a Stevie one. Someone said that it is a Stevie one, right? It's got the 10,000 there, and it's got the usual kind of Stevie approach. See, it's 30,000, 60,000, and all colors available for doing it. So we have the Stevie approach on here. I'm aware that one's just gone rushing off. So that's 99,000 right there, and we'll go with it. It's $5,000 to hire it. Let me go and just quickly unload this combine a second, and then we'll go and have a look at the horsepower and stuff, the requirements that are needed for that potato planter. I'm curious now. I have no idea what requirements are on it for horsepower. I'm hoping this tractor here can cope with it. If this tractor can't cope with it, we might be in a bit of trouble. But the plan will be to get... I mean, I don't know if the other tractors are going to be able to cope with it either, for that matter. But I'm more hopeful about this one than I am about those other two tractors. We can at least have one potato planter working here. I mean, he's a reasonable spread on it. He should be fine. The combine should just go once he's empty. You right here, you're a 6-meter spread on this one. It requires 170 horsepower. What horsepower is our tractor at the moment? That one right there is 175. We'll be fine. These are 150, so it may come up with a warning to say, yeah, that ain't happening, sunshine. You ain't doing it. But we've at least got one 6-meter spread on here that we'll be able to do. We can load it up with fertilizer. We can load it up with seed, potato, and then we're away. We can just carry right on. We can go and plant everything. I am not harvesting with these two. That's not happening. We will be using the big self-propelled machine, and we will be leasing, but that's a thought, actually. Tatipo technology. That one right there. Let's get our speed 20k working speed. That's a Stevie mod. That's got to be a Stevie mod. Because that one's 10. Right, so we'll go with the Stevie. The reason I'm going to go with the Stevie one rather than this one is because this one has a capacity of 9,590, right? It's almost no capacity at all. This one over here has a capacity of potentially, 60,000 litres. It costs an extra 10 grand for that. The 20k, I'm not going to speed it up any more than that. I'm just going to leave it at the 20k. The engine setup right here, we've got at the moment 435 horsepower there. That can go up to 517 or 647, 692. Because we're going to be using 60,000 litres of capacity and we're going to be cruising across the field at 20k, I'm going to go with the expensive and with the increased horsepower. It kind of makes sense to my mind. So it does mean that we've got a few extra expenses on here. We're going to be leasing costs of 25 grand, which is not cheap, especially if I attempt to get 2 potato harvesters. Right, I've got a little bit more corn that I can go and take off of this combine right here. And then we will run back down to the bottom and go and get what we can get from that one. That's the one that's nearly full, not this one up here. But I just want to empty this one out so this one keeps going, as he's got the long runs to do. So he's filling up a lot faster than the one down the bottom. Take everything out of there. It's close to 2,000 litres that we've had in there. And that's pushing us towards our first trailer full. By the time we get down to the other one, thinking that is going to be an actual full trailer, 21,000 litres. Right, you stay there. I will rush off down here. There's a little bit left on the field down there, I can see. And then that combine will start work in... Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think we'll put that one to work in the small of the two fields, and then that's fields complete, and we can start cultivating them, and we can start getting potatoes planted in them and things like that. I'm quite pleased that we decided to go for the potatoes now. We're not just doing the same old cycles over and over. We're advancing the game a little bit more. So let me bring you up to here, and looking at that combine... I tell you what, I will try and empty out a bit as I run alongside it so that I've got less time spent just sat with the combine in the field doing nothing while we unload it. So I come all the way up there like that and over to here. Let that one come up. Right, are you close enough? I'm not in your way, am I? Nope. I'm not in the way. Spout's coming out. And unloading corn. Right, so there's a little bit of the corn coming out. Right there. He hasn't finished yet. He's not saying that he's finished. So what I'll do is I'll let the combine go and carry on. And I'm just going to move this tractor over here a bit. So the combine should finish out that little tiny strip. And then that's done. We can get a cultivator in here then and get that started. It'd be good to get that going as well. If I park the tractor right there a second, like that, and then we'll go and have a look over here. You are only on 36%. You're fine. But what about you? What are you doing? Are you actually going to cut? Yes, you are. Invisible line right there. It's not a great deal of corn that we've just picked up. But he's now done. He's finished. So let's bring you out this way. I will dump those 3,000 litres into here, and then we will start work on the small field. So I'll do a pass along this bottom end, as I usually do, and then we'll run up that side, and then probably only need a pass along the top end as well. Usually one pass is enough. Most of the fields, with the standard hired help, one pass around the edges is enough for it to be able to get round everything that it needs to get round. It doesn't need anything more special than that. 500, 300, 100, and done. Right, off we go. So, yeah, a single pass here, just to help. I mean, most of it, I don't even need a pass along this bottom end. It's right over in that corner, really, it helps a little tiny bit. The rest of it doesn't make any difference at all. But if it's going to help a little bit, it'll help a little bit, just so that we don't miss any pieces. And the most important one is the strip down each side of the field. That just makes it easy to finish up the job. Right, when we did the planting in here, we had that little tiny strip down the edge of the field right here, and that could potentially have caused us problems. We could potentially have had to manually go up through and do it. I know it's not a big deal having to manually go up through and do it. Right, it really doesn't make any... I thought that was actually running for a minute. It really doesn't make that much of a difference, but it can affect the overall speed that you do things. If you're having to manually do that on a lot of fields, then it eats into your time, doesn't it? And we kind of want to do this as efficiently as we possibly can as we build up to getting more land. And that's kind of like the way that I look at it. I'm going to stay with this combine for a second. I know the one up there has just given us the warning to say that it's just about full, so we should be moving our tractors and trailers right now. However, I want to just follow this one down to the end so that we can do our pass along that top side, and then just set it going here and leave it. So we've just got to wait for it to get down here and do that, and then I can go racing up. I mean, that one's already on 100% there. He's just slowing down now, and he's on 100%. There, 4,500 litres of corn in that one at the top. So you here, and it's this little bit of a hill that causes this one the problem. This tight corner here. I did try to get rid of that the last time I did a bit of adjustment on here, but I didn't get rid of it enough. I should have gone back a little bit further just to make that a bit easier. Not to worry. Yeah, I'm going to start from this side. I'm not going to do any more than this. I'm just going to nurse it to there, and then now I'm going to start the hired help just as standard, running up and down the field. And then all we got to do is hop between the two combines for a bit, unloading both of them. Off you go. You're doing a grand job. I have complete and total faith in you, as always. I wonder... I think I'm going to go to this one, I mean, because he's just about full anyway. He's already on 70%, so if I go and I run up here first and I unload that one, then I go up to the top and I unload the top one, it might then be worth just... me... easy does it. Okay. It might just be worth me then going straight over and selling our first part load rather than trying to wait for a full load. Because it's getting up and down the hill here when we're loaded up with grain. That's the bit that takes the time. So if I can just run alongside you here for a bit, take some grain off of there, fill that one out like that, back up a bit so that we're just covering up that middle bar. I like the way that the grain fills the trailers, and it sort of just does it where the grain is pouring in. Well, usually does it like that. It doesn't always. Depends what mod or what machine you're using. But I like the way that it does that. I think it looks really good. And so I always like to try and have the grain going over the bars so that you see it properly covering them up. It just looks so satisfying with it. It was such a cool little feature when it was first introduced into Farming Simulator. I remember seeing that the first time. I think it was it FS15? I don't think it was 15. I think it was actually 17. I think 17 was the first time it did that. And it actually put the grain where it was tipping into the trailer. Before that, it was just, no, you had a flat level fill plane on the trailer, and that was it. And I'm sure it was 17. It was the first time it did that. Goldcrest Valley. And it sort of filled the right point in the trailer, and I love it. I think it's an absolutely amazing feature. It's a little tiny detail, isn't it? It's not a big thing. It's just a small detail, but it really does contribute to the overall effect of how everything runs, doesn't it? Like, it just makes everything seem that little bit more swish and rather cool. And it's something that I've always quite liked. Now, let's bring you in over here like this and get that one unloading. So what I'll do here, actually, is I'm going to run that down to 80%, and then I'm going to come away from the combine so that it starts moving, because otherwise it's just going to sit here and do nothing. And I'm going to go all the way down to this end of the field, and yes, I am absolutely planning to drive on the crop. I'm going to go over to here, and then I'm going to follow the combine as it goes back up across the field up this side, and we will unload everything that it takes. So we can follow it all the way down to the other end, and that's going to take us to just over 30,000 litres on this first double trailer, and we'll take that over and we'll sell it. It'll be our first little bit of money coming in. How... Oh, okay, you were potentially blocked a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a great deal. I'm going to struggle to stay up at, like, there's a surprising amount of yield coming between these two fields up here. With this one up here, plus the combine down the bottom, there is a surprising amount of grain coming off these fields. And it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for me to sort of keep up with them, to be honest. Slow down a little bit there. Now I'm going up a slight incline. I can't even keep up with the combine. There we go. We can do it. Just. Only just, though. Not the easiest thing. Well, unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. And for those of you wondering, the paid promotion notification that came up at the beginning of the video is because in the description down below you will find a link to Fanatical. I have an affiliation with them. If you use that link, I will earn a small commission on anything that you choose to purchase. But that is all we have got time for, so if you have enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.